Yo. What's up, everybody? Rage Cage 20 here. Back with Epica's album, Design Your Universe. Today we're on technically song 6, even though it's the second song we're doing here today. Well, not today, technically. Just on the album. It's the second song we're doing, but it's the sixth song in the album. We have Kingdom of Heaven, Part 5 of A New Age Dawns, which has 5 parts to the song. At least that's what the lyric website is telling me. It is a 13.5-minute long song, so we're going to try not to make this intro too long. But I will say, I think this is the first part, because I think they took Kingdom of Heaven and made multiple parts of it, and I think this is technically the first part of Kingdom of Heaven, even though it's the 5th part of A New Age Dawns. But I honestly have no idea if that is correct or not. And I have no interest in you telling me, no, you're wrong, where the fuck did you hear that, in the comments. I don't give a fuck. So, that is just my assumption, but I have no idea. Either way, long song. You have the benefit of knowing when you clicked on this video how long it's going to be. I'm 1 minute into this, and honestly, 13.5 minutes from Epica. This could easily be anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half video here. Who knows? It depends on how much impresses me. So what that means for us is we shouldn't waste any time with the intro. We should get right into this bad boy. It's the official lyric video from Epica's channel themselves. So look, I don't have to look at the lyrics. I can just focus on the video and whatnot, and this should be fascinating. I don't know if I'm prepared. I don't know if my vocal cords are prepared. I might have to take a lozenge break in the middle. We'll find out. But hey, 13.5 minutes, Kingdom of Heaven. Let's go.
You have to go back. Back. I don't want to return. Please, let me stay here. Don't make me go back. Go back. You've got work to do. We're not alone. We are alright.
Nothing here will be the same. The smallest bit is as big as nature. Our limited capacities give us trouble to comprehend. We are linked in every way, and we're strong as our weakest fragment. Every word that we convey is an act with consequences.
There was some very, very interesting themes within this song. I think it was presented in a very fascinating way. The lyric video was really cool. Like some of the imagery that I saw in there that kind of helped convey some of the points that were being sung. I got a lot written down. A lot of it really comes down to the instrumentation that I was hearing. There was a lot of unique and interesting instruments that are being thrown into there that you don't hear like very often, even in metal songs. Again, unless you're in Nightwish, then you hear these these instruments all the time because Nightwish loves to throw in tons of orchestral instruments, which is awesome. But you don't hear that in a lot of other metal bands, not even in some symphonic metal bands. You get a lot of strings, but you don't often get a lot of woodwinds and brass in there, so I love some of the instruments I was hearing, and also the rhythms and the rhythm switch-ups that they had in there. Like, a lot of what I have written down at different parts is just instruments plus rhythm. Like, that happened sporadically and continuously throughout this song. There was a lot of really cool rhythms and rhythm switch ups that they did. There's a lot of awesome instruments that they introduced and had them do really cool things. There's a lot of very interesting, unique vocal lines, and Simone switching up her singing styles from certain parts that were very open, held, sustained, and operatic to just kind of her more standard, straightforward singing voice. Very cool mixture back and forth between Jansen's screaming and Simone's singing. Of course, they had their choir in there, which I feel like they've had the same choir for many for many albums, because I recognize the I think he's either a baritone or a bass singer in there. I recognize his voice from, or at least it sounds like the same guy. I mean, this could be completely wrong. It's just purely a guess based off of tone and the timbre of the voice. It seems like the same people from what is it, like Will You Come With Us or something like that, the live one that they did. It sounds very much like that kind of lower baritone bass singer. I can like hear his voice, I feel like, distinctly. So it seems like they had the same exact choir through many of their albums and many of their songs and whatnot, but I don't know. It could just be a sample, choir sample, or it could be actual live choir singers. I have no idea. Honestly, do not know. But yeah, the same choir coming back on this one, which makes sense that they have the same kind of setup with Simone's voice, Jansen's screaming voice, and the choir, because it is A New Age Dawns. That's, it's the next part, so it makes sense that all the same elements and components are going to move from part to part because it's telling a story, and these are the people and the voices that are telling the story. So that's really cool. I kind of like that theme continuing. Oh, yeah. There was a part in there. There was like parts in there until I was kind of getting more into the story and what it was trying to tell and what it was going with. It felt a little bit repetitive again because it is the kind of the same voices kind of doing around the same thing from the last song to this song. So there was parts in there. It was just like, felt like I've heard this before. It's kind of looking for something a little new. But it makes sense because it's going from part 4 to part 5, so that's very logical. Yeah, I think it would make less sense if it wasn't kind of the same voices and had a lot of similarities, because it is a continuation of the same story and the same song ish, not the same song, but like continuation of the song series. So that's logical. It's just definitely my brain did have a moment and there was just like, it's feeling a little repetitive. But the longer the song went on, the more that like faded into like not being a thing. So, like, overall, a really good song. Yeah, so overall, I did really like this song. I'm liking the album too. Yeah, we got too much to talk about. We've only hit the 20-minute mark so far, but the analysis is the longest part because I paused constantly and go on tangents. So let's just get right back into this. Let's start from the beginning here and move along. Yeah, so we're gonna check out bits of this first minute here. I don't know about the whole minute, but around 1 minute is when I have the first timestamp. So we're just gonna entertain some of the opening stuff that happened here. First, that kind of drone-like chant that kind of started this off. Just a bunch of vocalists creating this very interesting sound that, to me, reminded me of a didgeridoo. Just that kind of very rumbly, tube-like sound. Very fascinating there. And then the piano came in. I think it was a piano. We'll double-check that. Had a very... That plus some other instruments joined in. I don't remember which ones because it was like 15 minutes ago, but some instruments joined the piano melody and created this really cool intro melody here. So we're listening for those three things. I want to hear it again. Let's go. Oh yeah, and that first sound, that kind of sound that starts us off here, really reminded me of the intro that Napalm I think used to do. I feel like they kind of have like a fire theme now with their stuff, at least what they've been doing with Ginger. I'm pretty sure it's Napalm, right? I don't know, some Instrument of Death records. But yeah, that kind of sound that Napalm used to start out their songs with. That's exactly what that reminded me of in the beginning. I was like, that's weird. So just a little side thing. But then it like switches to something else. Yeah, it sounds like vocals, almost like throat singing, or like that. You kind of like, what is it? I don't know if it's called throat singing. I think it's called like Mongolian throat singing or something like that. Just kind of that very deep, open, round rumble in the throat, kind of like almost double toned singing kind of stuff. Very interesting. I like the start that we got coming out here, and also there's like what sounds like maybe like chimes or something, just kind of being like rolled out here a little bit, just kind of a very chimey eeriness to it all. Very interesting start to the song. Yeah, yeah. See, it's reminding me of a didgeridoo or that Mongolian singing there. Just very, just very rumbly, throaty, fascinating. Sound like a chime being hit. And I think that's a keyboard. That comes in. That melody comes in. That's is very interesting. I like it. Right, I know instruments because there's multiple different things. So you can hear that like march like drum going on. You know, like a war drum that you would like. It's literally just the snare that you like tie around yourself that you do in marching band. That kind of sounding style of snare drum comes in, and then you have what I think is strings. I don't think it's just violins. I think it's a string section, but not like a full-on orchestra string section. Let's hear it again. If I had, I don't hear no string bass in there. So if I had to guess, it would be a mixture of potentially one of each, or a handful of different sections here and there. If I had to guess, I would definitely say violin and cello, but I would wager that there's probably a viola in there as well, though I wouldn't be able to pick it out of the sound by any means. But I'm just guessing due to standard string composition that there would probably be a viola in there as well, but it could just be violins and cello, but I don't know. Very interesting sounds here. I like that kind of this march, like dun 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 dun, kind of thing that's going along with that piano melody. That it's like we're marching towards something in this song, and that's a very interesting way to start off the song. And then like in this section, panned in the ear, you have that kind of like violin line that comes in there. That's interesting. Like really more strings. Again, it could be just a whole string section doing that melody. It might not just be violins, but it's definitely in the violin string family. Oh, we had. Oh, hold on. Hold the phone here. This is gonna be a long one, guys. Follow me. Follow along here with me. We're still in the first minute here. I have flutes coming in later. I did not pay attention and catch them coming in now. I heard a flute in there, but I feel like I also heard a piccolo. Hold on. Hold a tick. Give me a second here. Let me hear that one again. That might not even have been a standard C flute in there. That might have been, I don't know, that might have been something else. It was a little low. I'm pretty sure the flute can hit around that register. I think there's definitely a piccolo in there on top of that. That really higher, like that really high pitched, like that. It sounds like it's like two split off in a 2-part harmony there between a lower either a lower register flute or a lower sounding flute. I'm not sure. Could have been just a flute playing a lower register, or it could have been like, I don't know, an alto flute or something. Not 100% positive. But some kind of lower end flute, and then you have a one that sounds like an octave or maybe higher than an octave harmonizing flute up there, which I'm assuming is a piccolo. It could be a flute, but I want to say that's a piccolo. Very fascinating there. I like that. And I think those last two hits, when you had those like rim shots in there too, and like a little bit before that, I think there was some brass instruments in there. I don't know if I'd be able to say which ones, but it also sounded like there's some brass instruments doing the dun dun hits in there as well. And then that kicks off this metal. Very fucking cool. Here around 1 minute. It's gonna be a long one. I might have to take a break. Once that hits another 20 minutes, I'll probably have to take a break. 1 minute said rhythm plus instruments plus time signature change ? And then around 1:30 we have some more. So let's just. I think the change happened right before that. That I wanted. 1:30. I want to take a look at the first verse. So just gonna let this keep going. But yeah, okay. So I think I remember what I was talking about with the time signature change. I think there's like a measure or two in there that sounded like this time signature completely changed because the rhythm was fitting like something that sounded like it was phrased differently than what had come before it. And so I think that they switched to a different time signature before switching either back or to a time signature again after that. Very fascinating here. Let's listen to what this rhythm and instrumentation was that I marked down. Well, first off, I was just like the kind of switching between just fast drum notes and just kind of chord. Switching back and forth between that and what sounds like of course, after going back and forth between that rhythm like twice, then like kind of like a little floaty embellishment over the top of it to loop back into that rhythm. I think is what I heard. Give me again. Yep. I like that dun 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 that they have in that ties that together really well. I think I just heard some violins come back in at the last second when I paused it, but we'll hear that again. It's because like it goes back to the dig 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 kind of rhythm, but at the same time they have dun 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 going on in the dig 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 dig. It's like a cool blend in there that creates this very interesting sound. Yeah, you got the strings back in there. They're doing this very, like, compared to what's happening with the guitars and stuff, with this very chunky and fastly strummed chords going on in here. Just pretty standard metal chords, just stuff going on. You have this very kind of like methodical, slower melody lines going on by the strings that have little hits in here every now and then. It's just very fascinating. The mixture of rhythms and instruments that they have coming in here is very appealing to the ears, and it's keeping my ears hearing like, oh, whoa, that was something weird happened there. Oh, that was like weird in a good way happened there. Oh, well, that is very cool rhythm that they have, like two different opposing rhythms that they have on top of each other, but it's blending really well. It's a lot of interesting writing that's happening in here, and I'm liking it. It's very stepwise, just rising, and not only tension but notes there, dun 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 dun, like that is great. Instead of the dun 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 and then going back into it, it keeps rising again for another measure. That's very cool, mixed with the very slow kind of bouncing da 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 da. Very interesting violin melody that you got in here. It's wow, it's good writing. And then that same violin melody repeats, but either you have more violins coming in and it's turning into harmony, or it's just jumping up to a higher interval there. It's repeating the phrase at a higher interval. I don't remember what that's called. Transposition? It's transposing up to a higher interval. I think that's what it's called. And repeating that melody. Very fucking cool. Keeping it fresh, keeping it not repetitive. Smart. Smart writing. Clever writing. Awesome writing. And it's also adding other instruments in there. I think I heard some brass barks and bites in there is what I like to call them, barks. When you blow so much air into into a brass instrument in a short duration, it makes the metal vibrate and rattle a little bit, creating this kind of barking, biting sound to it. It's a lot of fun to do. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of it definitely wears on your lips a little bit, but it's a lot of fun to do, and the sound can be really impactful when done in the right ways. Yeah, so much happening in here. I don't know if I heard the time signature change though. I don't know if that was a da 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 kind of thing in there. Let me go back a little bit and we'll just let it keep going through to around until the verse comes in, and we'll just see if I can hear where it is. I like that, again, that kind of like Eastern influence in there. Kind of sound in there. Very, very, very cool. And the upper strings that's kind of floating like over here in the sound. That's fucking cool. Yeah, it's right there. It's right before the verse comes in, right before Jansen starts doing the screaming. This is gonna take some deep listening here. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that is like a 1 bar time signature change in there. I don't think it's anything like super complicated. I believe. I think it's just switching from 4/4 to like 2/4 for like one measure and then coming back in, because it sounds like it's the same kind of note beat duration, like 4 on the bottom, but it's like faster. It's like a quicker measure, so that's why I think it switches from 4/4 to 2/4. But no 100% positive. It could just be one measure being like 7/4 or 5/4 or something like that. I don't want to be 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, something like that. But I'm pretty sure I think it's just simple, just 4/4 into 2/4 back into 4/4 kind of thing. But without the sheet music in front of me, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So, but that's my guess. Really cool there. 1:30. Yep. I just wanted to listen to the first verse here now. God, it's gonna be fucking long. We're only at minute 30. It's fine. Now, I did mention this, I think, in the other video, like, briefly, and then someone took it, like, way the fuck the wrong way and just went way off in left field and started saying I was saying a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, oh, how dare you say this? And it's like, I didn't say this. I said what you said. That I said. No, you said this. It's like, no, I didn't. But, I don't know. Something about the way Jansen does his screaming, it just has never necessarily appealed to me. I don't think it's bad. I don't think his screaming is bad by any means. It just, I don't know, for me, it just doesn't necessarily do it for me. If it, to me, it sounds like he's maybe trying a little too hard and trying to get like kind of kind of have this like deeper spin to it, and I don't know. It's never really necessarily done it for me, but I don't dislike it. It's just it's not my favorite kind of screaming out there, I guess, is what I would say. And I feel like he's maybe trying a little bit too hard on it, but it still doesn't change these verses a whole lot. Just know that if anything I might say that might not be like glowing, might be because of that perspective. That's just a personal feeling there. But let's check out this first verse here. Yeah, no, I think it's doing that same thing again. I think it's switching between 4/4 to 2/4 when he said the opposition back into it, like it's like a quick 2-beat measure that then comes back. It goes back into kind of that slower thing. That's how it's switching up that that quick little rapid turn back into the next phrase. I think is what's happening there. I think it's switching between 4/4 to 2/4, or some time signature to 2/4 back to that time signature. And I think it sounds like 4/4 to me, but I could be wrong. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I like that, and I like that they're shaping the words and how many words and notes are in the phrase. Switching, I say shaping what they're saying to fit that shorter measure, so it doesn't sound like the phrasing's weird. I think that's really clever. I think it was done well, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the little change ups and embellishments here that the guitars and like all the different instruments coming in are doing. Very fucking cool. Okay, well, the next thing I do have here is this chorus when Simone joins. I don't know. I think later it sounds it sounds better once it kind of starts to gel more into this song as the song continues to progress. I think it sounds better. I caught it right as I blinked out of existence there. I was like, oh, 40. I don't know. Like, to me, this is just the impression. Like, I know it's not this. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. I know this is not the case. This is just my personal preference. You can have yours. That's cool. You can disagree with mine. That's awesome. Love it. I don't need to hear about it, though. I don't need to hear about it, though, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm cool if you disagree with me. But, like, if you want to constructively give your point of view why you think it's awesome and why you think it fits perfectly, that's great. What I don't need to hear is, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Good thing you don't write their arrangements. You're stupid. But let's not be that, people. If you couldn't tell, I've been getting a few of those lately. I've been getting a lot of positivity and a lot of happiness as well. I appreciate all y'all that aren't fucking assholes and trolls out there. I do appreciate that. But you've been getting a lot of just douchebag pieces of shit. I don't know what it is, man. But I don't know. To me, my initial reaction when I heard the choir, and I didn't feel like the choir's phrasing was like as awesome as the chorus that comes after it and Jensen's verse before it. It didn't feel like the phrasing, the flow was as well put together. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like some of the notes were stretched a little too long for me, and it just felt very word, you know, it felt a little rugged. It felt a little janky to me. So to me, it kind of gave off the impression of just like, oh, well, we have the choir, that's our thing, put it in here. It felt a little bit like that. I know that that's not what it was, and I know that was not the intention. It just, to me, that small section there just didn't really fit well for me. The words themselves, awesome. Do not get me wrong. The words and the story that is being painted here is awesome. It just, that part did not feel complete to me. It didn't feel like as amazing of writing as we've gotten before, but everything that led up to that point and everything after that point, that part just felt a little janky to me, but it's whatever. However, when Simone then joins them here and adds her beautiful voice harmonizing with this choir, this is a beautiful ass chorus here. So let's get that. Very beautiful vibrato, very open round vowel in that too, like very, very gorgeous, very smooth there. Simone just, her voice is just like, just smooth butter, man. I don't know what it is. When she comes in, it's just like, there she is. Yes, it's gorgeous. I like that da, da, no, kind of falling down on those intervals instead of going up, because I think the last one went up, and so that one answers by going down. Yeah, that one jumps up, then the next one jumps down. And both of them had that ooh held out open vowel. Gorgeous. That's right. I also wrote down in here that part because I wanted to hear that. I think I had that later, actually. I might have had that later, the next chorus. But we'll discuss it now, because if that's what it was later, we'll skip it. But like that interval jump there, it's like da da da, like that was gorgeous. Hold on. And then it goes back into that dick fucking rhythm there. That's awesome. Fucking cool, me. We'll go about 5 seconds forward here. I said around 2:45 said phrasing. I think it was the way they were phrasing the phrases, shaping the phrases and whatnot. So I don't think it was anything else on there. Yeah, it was also I like this image of, like, I think it's 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I could be making them if I only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like it's either 6 or 7, like the chakras or whatnot. I only remember it, like, very briefly from studying the Hindu and Buddhist religion. But I think it's like, isn't it supposed to be like the different chakras of the body or whatnot? I think that this is what this is supposed to be referring to here, but I can't remember. I feel like there's 6 or 7. Or was it 5? I can't remember how many there were. I want to say it's between 5 to 7. I'm gunning on 7, but like now 5 is kind of feeling right. Not 100% positive. But I like the imagery as well. I like that. It's very agonisty there. Well, back when again, I can only refer to when Elisa was with the agonist, because I haven't listened to anything after she's gone. But the kind of way she will end a phrase in the middle of a sentence and then continue on the next phrase. Often phrases will be complete sentences or pretty close to, and the way that again switching between those time signatures, ending on and then it starts the next one. I love the way that this is phrased in here. It's very catchy. Da 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 da. Again, yeah, really leaning into that, switching back and forth between the time signatures, and it ends at the middle of a sentence and continuing with the next one, and it just flows so well. It's very beautiful phrasing there. Absolutely love it. Skipping ahead a little bit here, 4 minutes. Finally get a decent time jump in here. Come on now. Don't do me like this now. Not in the middle. Something plus scream. Looks like an L. Looks like a T-I-N-G. Not sure. Around 4 minutes though. Something plus the scream. I think I remember what I'm talking about, but I don't know what the word is. So let's go. And the imagery is really fucking cool too. Latin. There's not a G, that is an N. The Latin. Right. Got it. I was right. L-T-I-N. Yeah. Yeah, I like the scream on it. I love the instrumentation before it as well, but also these words. Lacking understanding, you explain nothing. Unwilling to see, you will grasp nothing. Lacking understanding, you explain? That's not how you spell explain. So I don't know. It's EXCPLAIN if that's an actual word. Explain nothing. You do not see the unknown. Like, just very cool words. And then after that, I should probably look this word up. Sahasrara. It just reminds me of Sahasrara, or whatever the fuck his name is, from Ocarina of Time. Link to the Past. So I don't know if that's supposed to, like, with this, if it's the same word and it's a post, that's what that word like means something, and that's why they chose the character to be that name or something. So I'm gonna have to look up the definition of that word later. We don't got time for that right now because we're verging on 50 minutes and we don't got time for that right now. We're not even on movement 2 yet. But yeah, that's really cool. I like the Latin. I like the way it's delivered, and the scream at the end of it's really fucking cool. Yeah, da 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 da. Love the way it's delivered. I love the little things that the guitar is doing on top of that. There's just little cool little hits it's doing on there. That's really awesome as well. Ah, that long, sustained, stretched out scream on top of the flying strumming of that guitar. That's who that reminds me of. That scream, actually really like the sound of that scream. He has moments. It's really good. Just some of it is just not for me. But that remind me of the scream from Grave Worm, See No Future, or just No Future. It's one of those two. It's one of those words. Yeah, that part when the da 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 melody comes back in, and he's just holding that scream out throughout all of it. Yeah, it sounded a lot like that, and while the fucking guitars are just flying and shredding, a really cool sound right there. I like that. 448, I said. Choir hits plus. It sounded like there's an accelerando in there. Means the music got faster. The beat and the tempo got faster, and Simone was doing his beautiful open operatic voice in there. I love that. Let's listen for it. Little screeches in there from the guitar, very cool. Also hearing strings coming back in, very beautiful. I'm hearing a woodwind in there again. Sounded a little flute-like to me, but it could be something different. But while you have that going on, you have these little da-da and little hits every now and then coming from the choir. Very fucking cool. Let me Let me hear that full that woodwind. There's also brass in there. I'm definitely hearing some brass there. It sounds like the lower end kind of trombone. I don't know if it's necessarily tuba. It could be tuba up in its higher register, but definitely kind of lower trombone, euphonium. I don't know if the euphonium. It could. I mean, it is my main instrument. It can make that sound. I don't know if it's comfortable range to make that kind of splatty sound, but it could do that. Euphonium, trombone, tuba, kind of sounding splats in there as well. Very, very cool. I didn't also notice it. She just that's very cool. So yeah, now we're in second movement here, or at least we entered second movement a little bit ago. If the instruments led up to it, but now we definitely know that we're in the second movement here. It definitely the tempo picked up. The tempo got faster, but did it have a accelerando in there? Because it was like a weird broken up one. Like it started to get faster, but then like there was a breakup in there, so like it got faster, kind of stopped, and then kicked back in just at that new tempo. Interesting. Hold on. Let me get that again. It excels. It like moves up a little bit, gets a little bit accelerando, a little bit faster, and then it retardandos, and then it comes back in at the new tempo. That's really cool. I don't know if it ever accelerates to that tempo, and then decelerates, retardandos, and then comes back at that tempo that it got up to, or it sounded like it got faster, and then slowed down, and then started at an even faster tempo. It's kind of what it sounded like. Anyways, really cool. And then Simone's beautiful open singing here. Now this part, I mean, good words in here. There's a part in here that kind of makes, like, I don't know if it's just kind of a society thing in general, or if it's kind of science. If again, this could all be the character, and I don't know if I wrote any of this down in here. I don't think I did. I don't know if this is all based off of the character point of view. I think I did kind of mention this later in the song. But like the part that goes off of misled by science, our wake up call, conditioning cannot fool us till the end. That part makes it sound almost like I mean, it could be a governmental thing. It could be just kind of a society at large kind of thing. And you know, we're being conditioned to think and believe a certain thing, kind of thing. Like got that, but kind of adding that with misled by science, adding with light creates us all. That makes me think of like oh, science is trying to mislead us. Like religion, God, light is is the true leader. Which it definitely in past songs have seen like Jansen's taken many shots at religion. So I can't imagine that he would write that way. However, it could be, since it's, and this also made me think of kind of the very high pitched, beautiful opera sound from the movement being called "Children of the Light." Makes me think of like, you know, a small child choir kind of singer. I think that's kind of what the Simone's singing in here is supposed to represent, but I'm not 100% positive. So I don't know if this is a character that is believing that, you know, the light creates us, and maybe kind of having this religious connotation, like science is actually just lying to us, or if I'm misreading that, I could be completely misreading that. But I just, this movement in general that comes back later, we'll talk about that. This is a long one. I should have warned you to get your popcorn and your snacks and your drinks earlier, man. My bad. I dropped the ball on that one. I knew it was going to be long. I should have warned you. It's too late, guys. I dropped the ball on that. I hope you can forgive me. But I did tell you it'd be a long one. So if you didn't put that together, maybe it's like, I'd say 75% on me, maybe 25% on you. Okay, well, that sounds fair. But yeah, this is a very beautiful section. Very, very high register. I don't know how high Simone can get, but it doesn't sound like, it sounds like she's definitely going up a little bit into her falsetto range, but not, I don't think it's coming close to how high she can get up to, because it still sounds very warm and supported and very in control. So I don't think she's pushing the top of her falsetto register, but it definitely sounds like she's getting up into what a lot of people call the head voice. So it's definitely high up in her register for sure. And again, I think that's supposed to be like an altar boy, child, choir, singer kind of thing. So I don't know, but very cool. I do like that line there. Pride will make us fall. Like, I mean, I felt like that cannot be argued. Life is meaningful. Like, just in general, life is meaningful. Life delights us all. Like, life in general is beautiful, and pride will lead us to our downfall. Just great lyrics, just across here. I also love the beautiful, high-toned, gorgeous opera singing that Simone's doing here. Beautiful vibrato here, and every other line, every other stanza has that kind of swooping, just kind of like swoops up to the pitch kind of sound to it. Very beautiful. Alright, well, we led into the next part here. 5:35-ish. I said, rhythm. I like it kind of slows down a little bit. I'm not going to say the rest of the melody, or the rest of the rhythm, because I don't remember it fully. I don't know I'll get it wrong. Alright, around 60 minutes. I mean, place your bets. If you haven't placed your bets already at the beginning, how long this one's... Wait, you know how long this one's going to be. I should place my bets, because I don't know. You know how long it's going to be. You would win that bet. That's easy money. Shit. You should have taken it when you had the chance. It's too late now. We'll see if we can go for a new record on this one. I'm not intentionally doing it. It happens. There's a lot I want to talk about in here. But yeah, let's listen to this rhythm here. This change up. It just kind of like it slows down, like it's a quick tempo change in there. Very interesting. I just love that melody there. I love that rhythm. Da 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 da. Yeah, just that repeating there. Just that like it goes through the notes and then just has a long sustained note that is interrupted by this sharp little ding sting in there. Very, very, very interesting rhythm. Very cool. 6:45. Let's jump it, baby. Let's jump it. Whoop. 6:40. What did I say? Rhythm plus brass? Yes. Yes. Plus brass. Rhythm plus brass. Let's hear it. Even higher up there. I like that. Yeah, that rhythm. Digga-dim, 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 digga-dim. There's the nice little triple blast beat in there. Digga-dim, 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 digga-dim. Very cool. Very, very nice triple tonguing there. Very cool. Well, for the brass players. But I don't think the brass players are actually doing that. It would be triple strumming, right? Is that how it works? What would be a triple tone? Just that nice little blast beat in there. Plus, I'm hearing this very splatty, aggressive brass tone. And in this one, it sounds like bam, 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 bam. It's very interesting. Very interesting to heighten. Oh, that's a nice full freeze frame there. To heighten those blast beats that are coming out from the guitars. And I'm assuming the drums as well. I wasn't paying attention to that. Well, the kick pedal, yeah. Yeah, I just heard it at the edge there. Listen to this part of your ear. And this part actually sounds really cool. I don't know if I edited this in here. Well, 7:15. That's it. Instruments and rhythm again. Go figure. So I guess we'll let it keep going. But I like that the choir is using the very accented blast beats to kind of to make their lines very marcato, very accented. Da 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 da. It's not like very short. So it's not necessarily staccato, but it's very very marcato accented. Just da 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 da, but it does have this just very, it has a shortness to it, but not necessarily quite staccato. But yeah, very very nice accented hits in here to accentuate what the guitars are doing. Very fucking cool. And I like this image. It comes back multiple times with like the almost like the soul or something leaving the body, like when you die, like you see all those images all the time. Or like TVs, movies, TV shows, movies, etc., where like the spirit, the soul, the ghost will kind of come out of the dead body and like float away or something like that. Like very cool imagery here that will come back into play later. Mark down later for part 4, movement 4. Which I think during the section we might I can't remember if we're we might be in movement 3 now. Bardo here. I'm not 100% positive. Anyways, I'm bored. Yeah, let's listen. First off, a lot of the different rhythm switch ups and just different melodies that are just written in the song are just fantastic. But let's see what we were specifically looking for around 7:15. That was it. I think there's another switch up in here that's about to happen as well, but I love that violin run in there. I can't tell if there's any woodwinds in there with them. I don't think so. I think it's just strings, but there's that beautiful run going on in there. It's very gorgeous. Into the end. That's really cool writing right there. Yes, that was the other instrument. There is now new percussion in there. Some kind of they call them bells, right? Would be considered bells, like a xylophone. That one sounds more like a marimba. I don't know if it necessarily is, but it's less xylophone metal bells. It's more wooden like a marimba or whatnot, but I don't know if it's necessarily a marimba. I can't remember what the another one would be called, but yeah, that sound in there I can hear it kind of like at the bottom of my ear here. That's very fucking cool. It's just flying over a bunch of notes following the string line. That is so cool. That's a great use of percussion right there. That's fucking awesome. Okay, we're just gonna jump ahead a little bit here. I could listen to this for a while, but I also like the product placement that they had in the middle. They had it at the beginning, but they gotta make sure you guys see it in the middle as well. So around 7:55 here, I said flute plus into acoustic. I don't know. Eventually, it turns into acoustic. There's also some neutral syllable backup vocals coming from, I think it was the choir or whatnot that was happening in here as well. Yeah, let's listen for all that. Would that be a glockenspiel? I don't think that's right? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I like that everything kind of comes down. You have these, I think it sounds like O's coming in from the choir, like oh, kind of going on there. I'll listen for a little bit more. But yeah, everything just kind of comes down. Of that crazy high blasting super fast passage that we just came from, now we bring it down a little bit as we have our product placement here. Dun, 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 dun. Very, like, I think it wasn't that jumping like thirds, I think. Dun, 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 dun. That's beautiful. It's very, there's a lot of breath to the flute sound. It's definitely on a lower. Again, if it is a C flute, it's very low. It's pretty low in the register. It could easily be, or it could be something like an alto flute. I don't think so, but it could be. You never know. But yeah, it's a good vibrato on it. Very breathy, very low, but yet also very full and supported at the same time. Very, very beautiful low end sound. There's two of them now. There's that acoustic guitar coming in. Such a crazy switch up in here. I like, again, the rhythm switch ups and stuff that they have in that dun 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 dun, going back into it again. I think that's they switch. I think they're keeping that theme of switching up the time signature again. I think it's 2/4, but I'm not 100% positive. Just happening in different ways throughout the entirety of the song. It just keeps coming back. It's very cool. Doing very beautiful accompaniment here. A little bit of flute there. A lot of flute. Oh, that's gorgeous. Then you have that awesome soloing that the guitar is doing there, or the drums is doing there as well. 9:45. Said vocals. Whoop. Vocals plus rhythm plus bass. Oh yeah, this was the big one. I was wondering when that big one was coming. Okay, there's a big chunk here. All right, big chunk here. Vocals plus rhythm plus bass plus words / the quote in there. Where I don't remember where it was. Is it the guide us safely through the gates of death? I don't remember. Oh, it says I see the world through different eyes. I don't know. Whatever. Plus character / play plus this doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll explain it when we get there. Tap electric distortion / solo on the guitar. This is a long one. Let's let it keep going now. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can find all these parts here.
I was given clarity and the wisdom I can't deny.
Yeah, that's the vocals on the rhythm right there. The da da da. I think that's a triplet in there. Very fucking cool. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, just this very beautiful soft vocal line from Simone's gorgeous. Plus the beautiful triplet switch up in there that they have. Very very awesome.
Nothing here will be the same. I'll see the world through.
And it's being how soft the vocals are is being supported by the instrumentation. All the orchestration around it is just very smooth, soft, and airy. It's just really heightening how beautiful Simone's making this passage.
Different eyes that I was given clarity and the wisdom I can't deny. All that we can ever see until we leave this frail existence. It's just a shadow of reality. Death is not the final instant.
Yeah, that might have been part of the words there. I think that might have kicked off part of the words. I like the use of the word instance there, but death is not the final instance, saying that there's more that comes after our world in this frail reality and existence ends. It's not the final instance. There's more after this. Just the words themselves are fucking awesome. And I feel like I heard a pluck in there that was about to kick off what I probably wrote bass down here for. So let's let it keep going. Yep.
It's not your time. You have to go back. Back.
First off, I like that scream into the guitar is coming back in, and that just kind of that clean quote like statement there. So this whole part here, at the end of movement 4 here, Paragons of Perfection. It's about the middle to the end here. We'll talk about all this now. Listen for it as it continues to play out here. Yeah, play out here 2:12:20, because I said return theme just back to movement 2. So the fifth movement, the last movement here, is called the harsh return. And as you can see, all the imagery and whatnot, it's like this person like dies, as it says, death is not the final instance, and it's almost like the gatekeeper and whatever other existence you believe in. Let's call it heaven for now. The gatekeeper and or the god themselves is saying, no, it's not your time, you got to go back. And right after that, you go back, you've got work to do, like, you know, it's not your time, there's still more that you need to do, pushing them back. And the character frantically, as it's about to happen here, is you scream like, no, I don't want to go back, you know, please let me stay here, like in what was assumed would be a better existence. Like, don't send me back to that hellhole we call Earth that I just came from. And just being like, nope, you got to go back. There's more you got to do. Your job is not finished. Very, very interesting character development in this saga of New Dawn Ages that's playing out here. As well as just kind of almost like a theater like play that's kind of developing out as the lyrics are going. That's just really fucking cool. But then this sick ass guitar solo into when the character returns, again the harsh return, it goes back to second movement, Children of Light, and so it's like we're returning, we got sent back to our existence and whatnot, so we're moving back to the second movement. Like, as writing goes, that's fucking clever. That's really fucking cool and unique. So let's let that roll out here a little bit.
I don't want to return. Please, let me stay here. Don't make me go back. Go back. You've got work to do. We're not alone.
That's what the tap I said was. I don't think he's actually happening? It could be. But that kind of sound that's going on there with all the extra strumming, like that sound is fucking cool. I love that. And then this beautiful fucking guitar solo. Oh, let's fucking go. And again, just like how when Simone was singing soft, everything was kind of soft around her. The accompaniment, as is written in this song, is whatever the main lead line, whatever that is being backed up and supported so well by all the other voices, not just voices, but all the other instruments, everything else that is being played and or sung here is what I mean by voices. All the other sounds, all the other voices that is happening around it is accompanying it so well. Like during this beautiful, just like awesome fucking shredding guitar solo, you have this very epic, like hero like action scene from a fantasy movie, just kind of sound just surrounding it. It just brings everything that's happening. The accompaniment is bringing it to new heights in this song, and I think that is amazing writing. Of course, those are beautiful hits as well, coming back from the background vocals as well. Almost 120. Do I hear a 130? Hopefully not. But we're so close. We're almost done. We only have two more marks in here. Just two more marks in here. I think we can do it. So yeah, moving forward about a minute here. I'm on the wrong one. I hate that double click means exit full screen. I don't know why that's a thing. Anyways, so I can't actually see it, so we will move forward here. Okay. Yeah. So on to 1220 here. Go by the far back. As a return theme, back to movement 2, as we were just talking about. So we're gonna kind of get that feeling here. And then around 13 minutes in, the last mark I have is it kind of goes through the Light Creates Us All, or at least part of that. I don't remember which part, but part of that. And it's a lot softer, and there's a retardando to it. So let's hear this out here. And it even kind of almost has this like raptured doomsday kind of franticness to the choir vocals at this part. Very nice. Dun 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 dun. Rhythm in there. I like that. It's interesting that we come back to this. I think the instrumentation is a little bit different. It's either the same or different, obviously, but I think it's different. I think it's a little bit faster. And again, I think it's like we're back here, but like you just went through that experience. Things aren't the same, kind of feel I'm getting here, or it's exactly the same, and I'm just making shit up. I don't know. Both are extremely possible. I'm not gonna go back and check. We don't got time for that. We've already spent too much time. We don't got time for that. So yeah, very very cool, very cool. But it also still has that beautifulness to it, because like things are the same, but they're also different. You know what I mean? It's great. also like the choir backing her up here. The choir sounds really good at this part with Simone's vocals. Yeah. Kind of like the same kind of interval pattern and whatnot, like down several, like an octave or more. But this it kind of it's starting to soften up here. We're definitely leaning towards the end of the song. It's definitely winding down, changing up the words, and it gets softer, and then it retardandos on the way out, slows down. Very, very beautiful outro here. Nice and slow. Now in the lyrics it says it repeats, the greed will make us fall, light will bind us all, twice. Or at least it does it once and then repeats it once. So it happens twice. But I only heard it once. But it's not important. Good song. Really good song. Very long song. Very long video. If the song itself, y'all should. If who guessed around an hour 30, you right. who called that before this video ever came out? They're just like, oh, next song, this dude's gonna take at least an hour and a half, 2 hours on. But when it's a what 4 to 5 minute song and it takes 30 to 40 minutes, you know a almost 14 minute song is gonna take over an hour. Like, that's just a given. It's as I replied on a comment on a Ginger video. I think it was either Dreadful Moments or Teacher It's one of those two. When they were suggesting that I do a double feature for studio and live versions in one video. Person's like, well, if it take this long to do this, it's going to be hours to do this, blah blah blah, you know, because people on the internet are delightful human beings. And just like, you know, plain and simple, it's just like, as I said, I wouldn't care if it took 5 hours. Like, I honestly wouldn't care if it took me 5 hours to get through a song. However long it takes for me to fully explore and enjoy a song is how long I'm going to take. Is how long I'm going to spend to do it. Because, you know, you got to remember, like, even though I'm going back through and analyzing parts of it, this is my first exposure to this song. It's a reaction. I've never heard the song before, and I want to thoroughly explore a new song and enjoy every aspect of it that I can. I want to find the ultimate enjoyment and pleasure out of each song that I can. However long that takes is however long that takes. I honestly couldn't give a fuck if it was a 5 to 10 hour video. I don't give a shit. I understand that that's not most people's flavor. I understand if it's like a 5-minute song, people do like a 6-minute video. I get that. I understand that. There's tons of those reaction videos out there. Go find them. If that's your style, that's your style. That's fine. I don't care if you don't watch me. I don't give a shit. It doesn't fucking matter to me at all. Just note, like, I'm not just like they're like, I think a popular, more popular, like not like super popular, but a more popular reaction channel is Vin and Sorry. I think Sorry or Sorry. And like, honestly, like, I think it was their March of Mephisto one that's like 50-60 minutes long, and they don't spend that 50 or 60 minutes talking about the video. They'll go off on just tangents for like 10-20 minutes and whatnot. So, like, you know, like, at least, you know, with me, yeah, this is an hour and a half. We spent like, what, 40-60 minutes just dissecting parts of what's happening throughout the entirety of the song. There was no like, well, this is what happened in my day today. I went and got some made some breakfast, and then I went shopping, and I don't just talk about random shit. Like we're here to explore this song. And I want to catch all the little things that are happening, because they spend all this time adding in like, we want a flute and a piccolo here, and I hear that and I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. Let me hear that again. Let's explore. What's it doing? Oh, there's a harmony going on here. Like, oh, this could be this instrument. Oh man, I want to at least spend my time spent on this channel is at least talking about the music, so it's not just talking for the sake of talking, except for the outro and the intro. That does occur, but these are usually only between 1 to 5 to 8 minutes. 8 minutes if I have something I really need to say, but 1 to 5 minutes, so it's like, it's a lot of time, but it's not that much time. So yeah, pretty much what this long explanation was is just to say, for all of y'all out there, just like, Jesus, it takes like an hour and a half for like a 10-minute video, bro. Yeah, it takes as long as it takes. I don't give a fuck how long that is. If you're not here to sit through that, there's so many other videos for you to watch. Or if you like, well, I only want your initial reaction to it, then just watch the first 15-20 minutes and then clock off. I don't care. You're not hurting my feelings. I don't give a shit. I do this video mostly for me, because I want to explore music I haven't heard before from artists I either don't know or artists that I do know and I really like. And so a good portion, I say 60 to 75% of these are for me. The other percentage is for your enjoyment. If you only need to watch 30 seconds to enjoy it, or realize I'm not going to enjoy this, I'll watch something else. Awesome. That's cool. I don't care. But if you're just like, I loved every second of this, I watched the whole hour and a half of this, it was great, that's awesome. Like, you watch as long as you need to get enjoyment out of it. Skip as much as you want and or need to get enjoyment out of it. I don't care. I don't make money off of this. This is for me, but also for you. If I can bring any enjoyment to you, even if it's for 5 seconds, I've done my job. So yeah, this is a long fucking one. I hope you enjoyed for as long as you felt like watching. This was a good song. I like the song. In the beginning, it was a little bit, in the first, what was that, minute and a half, 2 minutes, there was some a little bit in there that was kind of making me feel like I've heard this before. But as the song continued to go on and on and on, more instrumentations were being thrown in, the rhythm switch ups were happening, the beautiful harmonizations with Simone singing in her different styles comes in. It was just like, oh, it just kept piling on top of just beauty, and just very interesting character work in here and story work in here, and just overall I felt like I listened to like a play, like I was watching a play unfold. And since we were here for an hour and a half, kind of pretty much, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was good. It was really, really good. It makes me think the next Kingdom of Heaven parts will be pretty fascinating, to say the least. This is where we're starting out here. I can only imagine it getting more and more awesome from that. So the next one, The Price of Freedom interlude, mixed with Burn to a Cinder. Those two will be put together. I have no idea what Burn to a Cinder could be about. No idea. But the Price of Freedom interlude is a speech from Malcolm X, civil rights activist, back, I believe, I'm pretty sure he was back around the same time that Martin Luther King was also fighting for civil rights. It's been a while since I've studied that portion of history and whatnot. But I remember Malcolm X and Martin Luther King had very differing opinions on how to fight for freedom. And this is a speech of his kind of saying right here that the price of freedom is pretty much death. You got to be willing to fight for it. That's the only way you're going to get it. So you've definitely disagreed with the passive aggressive kind of let them keep attacking you until the world sees them for the asshole approach that very simplistic way to put it, but that the point of view that Martin Luther King went through for. So, which, I mean, we can talk more about that when we get there, but like kind of has a point. Like, we wanted freedom and rights for when we tried to separate from the British, and the only way we got that is through dying and killing. So, he's got a point. It's the unfortunate reality of the world, but it kind of has a point. So that'll be a very interesting interlude. I think it's like 1 minute or something like that in between that and Burn Twister. So I'm gonna definitely take a break. I'm gonna probably go shopping and do laundry and dishes and stuff like that. Have a cough drop after this hour 35 here to regenerate myself. But then I'm gonna come back for those 2 songs. So I will see you all next time.